Hey guys, wanted to give you a quick introduction to the video that you're about to watch because it's a little bit, so we've done several of these road trips now, and this one is a little bit different than ones that we've done previously. This is another one from the Seattle trip that I was just on that you saw Kyle Hartke set up. Kyle told me that I needed to go and talk to Bill Peregrine from Earthdance Organics about his business model and what they've got going on over there. So they're like, you're gonna hear him describe how they work, but they work in what they call a hybrid model. And so just real quickly to kind of like position this video so you know what we're going for in it, there's two main points that Bill is like getting across here. The first one is that organics as a like solution for lawn care, like fertilization, weed control, all that, it's not just a buzzword to use, though it is like a really powerful marketing tool, but also like this is a thing that customers want. They understand that like chemicals that go out onto their lawn, like we all saw the like Roundup gives you cancer, and they understand like runoff now, getting into water sources from chemicals. And so you're gonna hear questions about this, and what Bill is encouraging is like to consider options in that area. And then also as a second thing is like, you don't have to learn all of this. You can partner in, like Bill's business operates as like a symbiotic relationship with tons of other companies that provide the like normal lawn care maintenance, kind of what our channel is usually about. He comes alongside those companies and provides a solution so that they don't have to learn all of these other things. They just work together to service this customer's lawn. So all that said, dive right in. This is the second video out of the Seattle trip, and I hope that you enjoy the beautiful sounds of the seagulls just like flying over the Puget Sound. All right, I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, I am still in Seattle from the tour of Kyle Hartke's shop that you saw recently, and I am out with Bill Peregrine of Earthdance Organics, also a Service Autopilot member. Several people told me that I needed to come talk to Bill about the ways that his business comes alongside sort of the normal residential and commercial lawn care companies that we talk about on Lawn Care Millionaire all the time. So Bill told me that his shop wasn't a whole lot to tour. We'd kind of walk through it in 2 or 3 minutes and be done. So he suggested we come down to a project site that they're currently working on, and it's on the Puget Sound, and I was all ears for coming out to waterfront property. So
Awesome.
Bill, thanks for having me out here.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have to say, though, first of all, that actually this property was installed about 6 years ago or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So this is a mature property.
Oh,
that we have
awesome.
here. But this customer is one of our organic service clients. We work alongside other landscape contractors. We don't do the mowing and blowing, but we do the health of the property. We do the organics. We do the compost teas and the organic fertilizers.
Awesome. So talk a little bit about how that relationship works.
Well, actually, it works twofold. One of which is that I'll go out and I'll talk to some of the other landscapers when I run into them or meet them. But usually what happens is I get a phone call from one of them saying, I've got a customer, they want to do organics on their property. Can you service the organic part of it for us? And we take over the green part of the, keeping things green on the property and developing the health while they do everything else, on the property. So.
Yeah, so you're keeping things healthy and they're coming and doing the regular maintenance.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's take a little walk around. You can tell us what you guys worked on. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, first of all, I'll have to say that one of the interesting things about this project when we're installing it, there's a sod we can buy here that actually has clover and things, weeds actually in it, which a lot of people would think of. And over here on the right-hand side is actually what was the vegetable gardening area. Of course, they've put a trampoline over the lawn, and now it's just been sitting there for probably 5 years on there, so the lawn isn't anything to be seen. But we originally put in a clover lawn over on that side, and the rest of the lawn, the rest of the property, was all the estate lawn, regular grass mix. The day we put the clover lawn in, the mister of the home came up and said, "Hey, Bill, I got to tell you something. that there's weeds in the lawn up there. I said, no, that's planned. So that's something that we actually have to educate on when we're meeting people, is because we do things a little bit differently. And you'll notice actually on a lawn like this is not a perfect lawn, and yet it's a very high-end estate home. Our customers tend to give us, they don't have the same, do they have the same aesthetic? They don't have the same demands for the visual look of the carpet of their lawns. They're more interested in the health of the property. They're more interested in the fullness of the property. They're more interested in how things are for them, their family, the birds, the bees, everything that visits their property. That's what's really important to my customers. But a lot of our guys, they do the regular ongoing hedging. Mm-hmm. And then we have guys out in the Northwest that climb these big trees and do the arborist work up on top. There isn't a lot of guys that know how to prune properly a lot of our trees in between the more expensive trees. I mean, a tree like this would be $1,000, $2,000 to replace. And we take care of that level of tree as well. So it's another service that we offer. So one of the things that makes us fairly unique in our industry is that there are three things that everybody watching this video knows. We do design, construction, and maintenance as an industry. We focus on sustainable design, the very, very first thing on somebody's property, and we focus on organic lawn, tree, and shrub care, the very, very last thing on somebody's property. So we actually handle the two bookends. We design sustainably, and then we're going to maintain the project organically forever. And in between those two bookends, we use our peers to help construct these projects. So right now, I think we have 15 or 16 contractors that we work with, and we're always looking to add more contractors. In this particular site, there's a stream that runs by on the one side. So we needed to capture the water from a design standpoint, capture the water before it actually got to the stream. So here actually is a place that all of the water comes down the whole driveway. The driveway is the most polluted water that we have on our site. That's where we're bringing everything in from off-site onto the property. It actually goes into this, there's a catch basin on the other side here underneath this rock. The catch basin takes it over to a rain garden that will filter the water before it gets to the stream. And if we actually have heavy rains around, the dry creek bed actually will serve as another way to filter or slow the water down before it actually gets to the stream bed. So we'll take a walk over there. Here's that little stream I was talking about running through the property. It does run year-round. Obviously in the wintertime it runs a lot stronger. But because of the stream running through here, we had to be very conscious about not just the rain gardens and controlling the water, but also about what we're putting on the lawn and what we're putting on the plants. And when we do it organically, we're protecting the water quality going out through the stream. Mm-hmm.
So part of the reason that I wanted to talk to Bill is because so much of his business, like he talked about when we were in the driveway, they're there for the initial design and then the long-term maintenance of the property. And that middle part is all built in trusting subcontractors to execute that vision. So can you just talk a little bit about how you ended up on a model that required so much trust?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. And I'll have to say that, first of all, my experience in the industry is I've worked for two of the top 100 landscape contractors in the country. One was back in Naperville, Illinois, and then one was here in the Pacific Northwest when I moved out here. So I have experience with these larger organizations. And then I've spent some time with other organic groups. But 8 years ago now, I decided that I wanted to bring sustainability and organics to the South Puget Sound area because it's happening up in Seattle. I can name probably 5 or 6 contractors that are doing what I'm doing, up in that area as far as the organics go. So So we brought it down here, and I started to find contractors to talk with to help with these projects. And I have to say, it is just like having employees, because we have employees too. I mean, we run our organic services. We have so much construction work that we're doing that I can't depend always on other contractors, so we have a construction crew as well to handle a little bit of that. But the majority of our projects, like this whole project here, was all installed by another, multiple other contractors. So it's not unusual. We may have 3, 4, even 5 different contractors, including my guys, on a job site. We work kind of in we call it kind of a hybrid relationship. And it does take some effort to figure out who's going to be doing what, and then it takes effort to actually explain why we're doing what we're doing to contractors so everybody feels comfortable. But in the end, our whole goal is to develop a larger community of people that understand how to do things sustainably and how to do things organically. And we don't care if a contractor wants to do their own organic services. That's awesome for us. A lot of times what happens is they don't brew their own tea. We have our own specific brewers. And that takes an investment. That takes knowledge and how to brew properly.
Earthdance Organics, it's right in the name. Your whole company is built around wanting to, almost like an action-based, like you want the Puget Sound to be cleaner, you want to address that problem. You said you're solution-based. How have you found that to be like an effective way to market your business?
Yeah, actually, it's interesting because having done this for probably 20 years, 20 years ago, you really had to find the customer that understood the chemistry issues that we're having, horticulturally on properties to hire you to do the organics. Anymore, anybody looks around and they see all the environmental degradation going on. People are looking for solutions. They're looking for ways, what can I do?
So, Bill, as someone who's been in the industry for so long, can you talk to us a little bit about why you got into the industry in the first place?
Great question, actually. Years ago, back before computers, this is how old I am, I think I was tasked, I can't remember why I was tasked with it, but I went to the library, and I think it's the ISBN book. It's the book that has all the codes for what your industry is, and that's what you put on your tax forms and stuff to say to the IRS. Everybody, hey, this is our industry and this is what we do. Huge book. And so I flipped it through this book looking for landscaping, which actually there wasn't, 20 years ago, that wasn't landscaping per se. There was construction fell under general contractors. But anyway, so I'm flipping through the book trying to find. And there's a realization I came across that said, every single industry in that book, this huge book with all of these codes, every one of them, without exception, takes a natural resource from our earth to create their product. Automobiles, textiles, home furnishing, you name it. I don't care what it is, they take a natural resource from the earth and they create their product. Then I came to this realization, landscape contractors are the only industry. By the way, let me back up and say, even forestry and agriculture, as much as they depend on the earth, it's when they harvest the product, not when they plant it, that they add to the GNP. Only landscape contractors are the only ones that when they plant the tree, our job is done. We're the only ones that restore a natural resource to the earth as our finished product. So the reason I'm excited about our industry and my peers, and why I do what I do and I do this contractor partner thing is, if the earth is looking for somebody to help it, if the earth is really under stress, and my peers don't know how to do it properly, how can we expect anybody else? How can we expect the guy walking into Home Depot buying what he's buying to buy properly if we, the people charged with restoring natural resources to the earth, don't know how to do it properly?
Yeah.
So, and that's why I got in the industry and why I stay passionate about the industry. And I stay passionate about my peers. I love my peers.